Welcome back to Talking Dragons, everybody.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen of Westeros? It's your boy, Hard Hugh Hammer, back at it again, through the power of maesters. Anyways.
Hard Hugh Hammer with his thick hammer. Yeah, man. God, remember when we were talking about Maegor and Ennis, dude, all those years ago?
Yeah, that was like 15 years ago.
Season 2, dude. Season 2 of House of the Dragon. I feel like obligated to start at the beginning of the season, because in its defense, it started really good.
Yeah.
Okay, like episode 1, Son for a Son.
It's good.
Pretty fucking good. Now, I do think, in my personal opinion, that the actual blood and cheese situation was a little underdone for what it was. And not to say that it's not horrifically brutal, but like relative to how horrific it was in the book, it's like such a divide. And by the way,
yeah,
the short I made, for those curious, talking about the differences, YouTube absolutely nuked. So this is probably the only place you're going to hear me talk about it if you haven't read the book. Yeah, way worse in the book. You know, obviously it's like, oh, it's going to be different because it's like the historical account or whatever, and oh, mushrooms embellishing it and like whatnot. But I think that Game of Thrones is known for, it's pushing the envelope, right? And it's almost like, you don't got that dog in you anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was trying to see the most fucked up shit possible. Like,
yeah, because it would get pretty fucked up in those early seasons.
Well, yeah. I mean, the main difference, really the only difference, is like the confusion to which kid is the right one.
Yeah.
But I think making Helena choose which kid, like in the book, just adds such an extra level of sinisterness to it. It's just that much more evil. I don't know. It really, it's so devilish, bro. I was listening to that in the car today, like that chapter, and I was like, oh, it's so bad.
George is spitting, dude. He's be spitting.
Dude, George knows how to make some absolutely skit stuff. I mean, like Reek exists, so like it's not exactly outside of his wheelhouse to do.
Don't get me started on Reek.
So I mean, like, but still, on the whole, see, episode 1 and 2 of season 2, I thought were very good. I thought it was a very good natural transition spot from the last season, right? Because we knew, based on the whole Son for a Son thing, that season 2 was going to kick off with a bang, and it did. But I think it was balanced well with like the drama aspect of it, and then you're like, oh wow, this is that really big like shock value thing that you get. And I think by and large, the first 2 episodes did that really well. And then, yeah, it definitely slows down a little bit after that.
I agree.
Episode 3, I don't even really remember what happened in episode 3. Daemon was smoking crack or something.
Yeah, but that's like every episode. But
yeah, really though. Daemon just hitting the blunt in Harenhall.
That was literally every scene that he was in this season, and it sucked horribly. I hated every second of it.
No, not necessarily. The fight Rhaenyra and Daemon have at the beginning of the season is really good.
Yeah, Side.
What do you mean, Side, bro?
Because I barely remember it until you brought it up.
Hold on. All right. Pause the recording. We're going to watch the fight scene.
No, regale the audience, dude. It's fucking...
I like, all I remember is that shit good, bro. It came out a month ago, so it's like...
Exactly. I don't remember that shit a month ago. What episode was it? Do you remember?
I think it's the second one, because I think it sparked because Daemon sends blood and cheese, and that's what I think gets them arguing. And then Rhaenyra is like yelling at him about how, you know, I'm the queen, you always just wanted the crown, and you can't give up wanting the crown. And then Daemon, like, he's like makes like he's gonna hit her, but he doesn't, and it's fucking saucy. Right? It's a righteous scene, and like it's just the perfect like intramarital conflict. Because what season 2 does really well, and I'm actually making a video about this. I'm gonna record it soon. I have the script written. What season 2 especially does really well that I think season 1 lacked out on was characterization of the characters, as weird as that sounds. Because like Season 1 spent a lot of time focusing on Rhaenyra and Alicent to a degree, but really it was Viserys' season, because they knew that was the only one he was going to get. It's kind of like Ned Stark in Season 1 of regular Game of Thrones. He gets a lot of camera time because he's gone after that. So the characters like Aegon, to a degree Aemond, and like just all of the other ones really kind of take a backseat. And in the second season, they're really kind of given the opportunity to shine. We actually get some of Aegon being himself, and it's funny because it's like you kind of like him a little bit once you actually get to like see some of him. Like he has a certain charm to him. Obviously he's he's done some bad stuff for sure, but
dude, he destroyed his dad's Lego set. Like, come on.
He did destroy his dad's Lego set. I mean, listen, wouldn't you destroy your dad's Lego set too?
Nah, honestly,
can you blame him?
Yeah, I would be fucking pissed if that happened to me. Dark fantasy medieval times, they behead my son. Yeah, that Lego set getting destroyed.
Yeah. Sorry. My Warhammer collection is getting fucking trashed.
My mom's lemon rust tank.
It's just a bunch of lemons carved into the shape of a tank. But like, you get that character. You get to see Aegon have a shit fit. And you get to see him interact with his friends and get drunk and all this stuff that you didn't really get. You got like this caricature of how much of like an evil guy he was in the last season. And you got to see all the bad, but you never got to see the him. And I feel like that's a lot of the characters in this one. I mean, even with Alicent and Rhaenyra and Daemon, like their interactions feel so much more genuine, with the exception of, the meetings between Alicent and Rhaenyra are tough, bro.
Yeah, those are a good watch, but yeah, it's tough.
I don't know if I consider them a good watch, my man. Pretty
It's
dumb.
like I find it as the Melfi scenes from Sopranos.
How's that?
Well, Alicent is to Melfi as Rhaenyra is to Tony Soprano. You follow me?
I'm not following you, dog. I do not see the analogy here.
That's mainly because I'm pulling it out of my ass. I don't know. I thought they were entertaining enough.
They just seem so out of character. Like you've both had, like both of your sons and or grandsons have been killed, and you're trying to like make nice now, and just the way that like Alicent is like, she's all like, oh Aegon, you have to be king or else they'll kill you. And then she's just like offering him up for Rhaenyra now. It's just like, what? Why? Why are you doing this?
I thought the infiltration to King's Landing was cool.
What's that?
That's my rebuttal to that. I thought the infiltration to King's Landing was cool.
I mean, it's a cool scene, like Rhaenyra going James Bond.
Can we talk about an actual cool scene that like we both agree on? Eric v. Eric, dude.
Oh,
come on! What a great
masterfully
scene.
Done. Masterfully
so
done. Eric,
fucking good.
I love the way you're watching it. You're just like, I don't know which one to be rooting for right now.
Yeah, the whole time. They did a really great job of just mixing it up. And they're actual twins, right?
Well, yeah, no, I mean, look at them, bro.
Well, they could have like that deep fake face on like, the stunt doubles or some shit.
No, I've seen pictures of the actors standing next to each other. They're twins.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that was, man, the drama.
It was pretty stressful. And I like that it kept that tension throughout the whole fight. No music, too. Just kept the suspense of it all.
Oh, yeah. And I think that Eric v. Eric encapsulates a lot of what they need to do more of in the show. The whole Dance of the Dragons is posed as this it's just awful. I mean, all civil war is awful because it's like family v. family, brother v. brother. It's like literally the pinnacle of the whole brother be brother idea, right? Like it is literally twins. And I think the place where I really disconnect with the show story, and don't get me wrong, I don't mind them changing certain things from the books, right? It's a history, so it's left more ambiguous, so there's more room to change stuff, like the whole Laenor situation.
Yeah.
That's okay, but I feel like the big misstep is not having a bit more air of like cutthroatedness, because it's like the war has already started, but the whole season is like acting like it's not for some reason. There's this obsession with trying to paint like Rhaenyra and Alicent as like, oh, they're not actually evil, they're just like misunderstood. But they end up just doing shit that has no like actual the motivation doesn't make sense. Like Rhaenyra and Alicent's like meetings, the reason I dislike them is because at the point where those are happening, the circumstances leading up to that I have gotten bad enough to where I just can't see any of the characters realistically doing that or even trying to stop that. Like in the book, the second Luke dies, Rhaenyra is like, you're going down. Like she has zero qualms with everything moving forward. And it just feels really weird that like first Rhaenyra and like now Alicent are like, but what if we were just like friends again? I just don't like it. It just feels wrong.
Women and their dumb emotions, am I right, Calvin?
If your kid is dead, I think their emotions are gonna be like, I'm going to murder you. Like, I'm just saying, it seems unrealistic. Oh, bro. Don't even get me started on this whole Nettles situation.
Yeah, where the fuck... And Mushroom, dude. Where the fuck is Mushroom?
No Mushroom!
There's no Mushroom to be seen in the entire season, and that is a crime that must be atoned for. But I also agree.
What does Aegon have that Rhaenyra does not? A little sausage? Why not let Mushroom be king? My sausage is thrice the size of Aegon's.
Well, it is now since it's got burnt off like a sausage.
Bro, okay. The reason I'm excited for season 3, I want more of broken Aegon, man. Just sad, dejected, nihilistic. Ugh.
That's what they really got to lean into for the third season. It's just more of like, the war is on. Feel bad. Dark. Feel bad now.
That's what I'm saying.
Do something bad to him.
Fuck it up. The worst thing that they could do for the storyline is continue to try and pussyfoot around how awful the conflict is. Like, shit has happened to both sides where it should be full-blown, like, I don't care. And I think that if Rhaenyra and Alicent and Aegon... I like the way Aegon's going, but if Rhaenyra and Alicent had, like, just engaged in the savagery and, like, the cutthroatedness as they were presented in the book, I think pivoting with Kristen's character to be a little bit more, like, nihilistic and like, oh god, what's going on? Like, the dragons are fighting the war now and we're all just kind of, like, owned. That would make a lot more sense because it would be cool, because it would be juxtaposed against the, like, atrocities and, like, the super savage nature of it. And it would be cool to see the transformation of the characters, right? Because you have Aegon going from, like, kind of this... It's very similar to, like, Sansa's character, this, like, innocent child... Maybe not innocent isn't a good word for Aegon, but like, you know, they just don't quite get it. And then like a big event happens and their whole character shifts. And I think it would be cool if like Alicent and Rhaenyra just start punching each other in the face. That would make the whole Kristen getting a little bit more like introspective and sad, I think, have more of a bite to it. Not to say that I don't like it. I did think that was kind of a fun scene when Gwaine is like pointing the sword at him. And...
No, that was great. That's one of the scenes that really just added depth to like the whole war and actions that the characters are taking. He says the line. He says, when the dragons dance, men are but ashes, or some bullshit like that.
The dance of the dragons. Yeah, I think Gwaine just kind of like sitting down on the log afterwards is really funny.
Like, shit, dog,
he's
you
like,
right?
Oh, no, I can't even be mad about you fucking my sister anymore.
He's also just like, do it, bro. Come on. Say it. Say I'm fucking your sister right now.
You won't know balls. Bro, can we talk about Thailand having the coolest spring break ever?
Not unless we talk about the character assassination of Roselia Rodon.
Dude. Ah!
There was a guy with purple hair, and they blue-balled us,
okay,
dude.
So for those of you who don't know, there's going to be a lot of this, because they're starting to get really off the beaten path with the books. So for people who haven't read the book, there's a character who was very active in the Stepstones named Rosilio Rhindoon, and he's this fucking giant, like 6'8" guy, but he's got like a hunchback, purple hair, and he's just insane. Like, just his whole character is just a crazy pirate guy. He's like, basically, he's got bipolar, essentially. He goes from like, his tempers were as changeable as the wind.
He's Blackbeard on crack.
Blackbeard on hella crack, man. And he's just really...
A lot of crack.
Like, if Westeros had crack, bro, he would have smoked all of the crack that Westeros had. He's this really fun character that we don't get to see a lot of. And they made the fucking... just this weird trans question mark pirate person.
No, she's just Swedish.
I don't know. What?
She's just a Swedish actress.
I thought they called him a guy. Actress. I don't know. I'm getting canceled because I misgendered the pirate lady. But
yeah, we're both kiss our careers goodbye.
Man, is this what all the racist people feel like when they race swap Corliss?
Most definitely. But ours is more subtle.
But like, I'm not even necessarily mad at the swap. I'm just mad that they did it with Rusilio. And it's like, I know why they did it because he's like a minor character. But like, I feel like it would just work. They couldn't even keep the name. Like, you could have at least called him Rusilio. It's just annoying.
Do we even know their name?
It's like Lothar or something. I don't know. I don't think anyone cares.
That's some fantasy shit I'd make up for a D&D campaign.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, it's annoying. And by the way, it's not Tyland, I think, who goes to treat with them. It happens later. I think it's like Alan of Hull. If you wanted to include that character so badly, why would you change them so dramatically? You didn't have to even put them in the story. It comes way later. Mm-hmm. It's like after the dance is done, I think. So it just doesn't really make sense. And then you take like fucking like a third of the finale's runtime for Tyland Lannister partying in Essos essentially, and it's like, where's the big climax, bro? Where's the cool battle? Where's the thing? Where's the anything?
That entire third could have been cut and inserted with something better. I wholeheartedly think that.
What do you mean the entire third?
The whole Tyland and Essos bit. It just felt like a third of the episode. It could be entirely cut and we wouldn't lose anything. You know what old Game of Thrones would do? They would say, hey, I'm gonna go to Essos and negotiate with these dudes. Alright, bet. A couple episodes pass by. Hey, I negotiated with those dudes from Essos. They're willing to fight for us. Problem
Tyland
solved.
Comes back with like dreadlocks and red hair, like a gold chain.
Yeah, just
yo, Essos was lit, dude. Essos rocked.
Yeah, just give us something. Maybe he's like missing a finger or something. He's like, oh, that Rosilio guy, his tempers is as tame as the wind, as they say.
How cooler would it have been if we just didn't see from Tyland and he came back like all kinds of fucked up and he was like, I got the support, and then you're just like, oh, what happened? And then you just get to learn about it through dialogue. Like, that would have been such a good like show don't tell or tell don't show. But like, it's subtlety, because you're just like, it kind of adds this element of mystery.
We got our chops in the writer's room.
Chops in the writer's room, brother. It just adds this level of mystery that you're like, oh, some crazy stuff happened in Essos. And like, Essos in Game of Thrones is already kind of this like mystical foreign place that, not mystical, but it's very different.
Yeah.
Exactly. So happen. I think that you would have saved a lot of screen time, and you would have also had the fans and the viewers asking some more questions and like getting their head scratching. And I think that's a really good place. That's where you want the viewers to be. You want them being like, oh, that's kind of cool. What is that? And you want to get them curious about stuff, right? You kind of bait the hook a little bit. Mm-hmm. But instead we get a 10-minute scene of Tyland mud wrestling.
God, what a disappointment, dude. Oh God, why? Why did I have to see that happen?
Okay, you know what? Let's pump the brakes on the negativity. Rook's Rest, anyone? So good.
So good, dude. So good. Aegon's penis being popped like a sausage. So good.
What do you think of the Aemond being a betrayal character arc? How do you feel about that?
Aemond being betrayal character arc.
Aemond hit Aegon with the fire to become regent.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And then he was like talking to Helena, and he's like, I could fucking kill you if I wanted to. I have a big green dragon dick.
I do remember that. Yeah. I didn't really jive with it, to be honest.
No? I thought it had some merit.
I think, throughout like the series, we see him kind of being fucked up and wanting to be king, and he takes that opportunity. But I like to be more kind of like anonymous, ambiguous, I mean. Maybe we could see it from Kristen's perspective, on the ground.
True, more ambiguity.
Shit just kind of happens. Because to me, I'm more of like the book stan, and that's what I like, was the ambiguity of it all. Is like, well, did he betray him or did he not? It's kind of hard to tell, but you can kind of see through his actions that, maybe he did kind of betray him in that end.
Yeah, because it is 2 dragons v1, so you think like, well, how did you lose that one?
Yeah, that too. But like, yeah, I can kind of like see like why people can like it.
I mean,
you know?
I think that's one of the changes that's more understandable at the very least. Like,
For sure.
I can see why they would take that direction. It makes sense. You're like, oh, we want to add a nice little spicy angle to this. I do think that, I don't know, maybe it makes sense to have that betrayal happen earlier, like before he gets coronated. But, you know, I could also see Aemond being, you know, an opportunist and taking the chance when he saw it. So
And I could it's his actions prove that he would do that too.
yeah, the way he kind of connives a little bit. But man, that dragon fight was sick. Ugh.
It's so cool when Maelys is fucking ripping out Sunfire's guts with their claws. Then it drops down on the dudes, and they're just burning alive from the blood.
Oh yeah, dragons
Come
have
on.
spicy blood apparently. That's cool.
Yeah, it's super cool, dude. Fucking, they're so hot.
So hot, so fucking hot, dude.
Just so fucking hot,
Just, like,
dude.
touching. Ow.
Jacuzzi of dragon's blood.
Yeah, Rook's Rest was good, but it definitely felt like something more deserving of the finale, right? But you don't want to just stretch that out because there's not a tremendous amount that happens in that time, so you can't really save it for the finale. So I get it that it's in the middle, but you want to have another spike at the end. Like, you need to have something cool. It's the season finale, you know? Something crazy's got to go down.
Yeah.
Especially because we got to wait 2 fucking years for the next season.
But it was a trailer, dude. Come on.
God.
Do you think I don't think we're gonna get Warrior Spirit, dude, judging from this how it ended. I don't think we're gonna get Oblivion Warrior Spirit.
Dude. We need the giant Oblivion. We need the Oblivion. We need was it Moloch Ball to come out and own the dragons. Man, I feel like talking about what happens in the book isn't even spoilers at this point with how much they're diverging. And like, because I was actually literally also just writing a video on this today. Like, what's the girl that they sent to the Vale? Rhaena, I think?
Yeah.
So Rhaena is just Nettles now because she goes, first off, no one noticed she wasn't with everyone. No one noticed she just left the convoy that was leaving the Vale. Like, not one guy was like, oh, I wonder where Rhaena is. like I can't imagine that would just be an oversight like that. And even if they did, the whole implications of Nettles not being in the story is so big. It really is just this.
Could you maybe explain Nettles real quick for people who haven't read or listened to the book?
So Nettles is there's not really spoilers because she's not even in the show. So Nettles in the book is a character who, during the Red Sowing, claims Sheep Stealer. The way it goes is she basically bribes Sheep Stealer with sheep, and eventually he likes her and lets her ride. So once she claims the dragon, she fights for the Blacks, and eventually her and Daemon develop a relationship together. And Rhaenyra gets really mad that they're in a relationship, especially after some stuff happens, which we won't get into for spoiler avoiding. Rhaenyra then orders Nettles' head because she thinks that Nettles is a witch and she used sorcery to bond with Sheepstealer, and Daemon is kind of in her thrall, as it were, so he's not in his right mind. You know, which is kind of what is happening with Alice Rivers right now, in a way. So then the whole God's Eye thing happens for the people who know what that is. But it's a pretty serious implication, and it seems to me that it really is just on this quest to make it so that Rhaenyra couldn't possibly do anything seen as morally non-righteous, which I can't think of any other reason why they'd change that. It's just got a lot of downstream effects, and I was thinking, like, even if Rhaena it's not too outside of, like, the way the Targaryens do it if Daemon and Rhaena, get into a relationship, but it's
that. Yeah, I remember us seeing that scene and being like, "Yo, more incest, let's go."
It still seems like a bit of a stretch, man. I don't think they're gonna go that route. But it's
yeah, they're done with that. That's the old them.
That just seems like a really needless change that I see having, like, so many downstream effects. Because, again, like, the whole Laenor thing, it's like, it checks out because you're not really changing the actual story. in terms of like the downstream effects. It's just the way you got there is a little different, which is like, okay, that's, again, it's a history, it's ambiguous. That seems like something that could have easily been lost to time, right? Like, checks out. But this is something that it has some pretty big implications for the story, and they're gonna have to pull some crazy stuff for me to be on board with that. They're gonna have to have a real good idea what they're doing with that for me to get back on board, because as of right now, I am not about it.
I completely agree with you. I don't know, man. It would have been sick to just have, actual nettles, but...
Yeah, no, I don't like what they're doing with Daemon's character at all, really.
Yeah, he's drinking as you said, the stupid juice this season pretty hard. And he is pretty hard.
Yeah.
But before I get into that, though, can we talk about the Blackwoods and the Brackens, how that scene starts out? We'll spread a little positivity in here.
The river?
That scene, there's just like, they're at the river and they're like ganging up on each other. And then it just cuts to the aftermath of that battle.
That was pretty cool.
So cool.
And that's what makes season 2 tricky, is because it's like, it's the definition of like, they did so much right and then simultaneously got so much wrong at the same time, and you're just like, yeah. Because, but like, Daemon like lopping that guy's head off after he helped him, pretty in character Daemon thing to do. I was like, all right, checks out.
Yeah.
But I don't really like him. I think he should have, like, and again, because, the war hasn't really started yet. I think the second season 2 started, Daemon should have been off his whole, like, I should have been king thing. He doesn't have to be, like, the coolest guy ever, but I think he would be satisfied being like king in all but name kind of deal. Like, he still technically rules.
Yeah, dude, Daemon rules.
Because he's like the commanding general of the army, essentially, in the books. Like, that's how he functions. I think all this like trying to drum up an army plot line when in the books it's like everyone's just like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Oh man. I thought the drama of Oscar Tully's like full thing, I think it kind of had a satisfying conclusion. It just sucks that we had to see Daemon trip balls to get there.
For so fucking long. And like, we don't
for
even
a very long time.
You're telling me we don't get a full 10-episode season, and you're gonna spend how much time on this it's just weird plot line? Like, one episode's kind of, like, he has the weird dream sequence. It adds a little bit. Like, the first episode, you're like, he's like going crazy a little. But that should have been like a 1-episode arc and been resolved. He should have gotten on with it after that.
Real quick, the fucking Long Night reference, dude. Like, come on, dude. Get out of here. Ew, dude. Nasty. Just let it be its standalone story, please.
Yeah.
You're already a franchise.
Talk about forced.
Oh, man.
Like...
It's
like, okay, season 1, Viserys telling Rhaenyra about the Song of Ice and Fire. Okay, you want to make a cheeky little reference. Fine. Shut up about it. Like,
shut up.
Quiet. We get it. Game of Thrones happened. We remember. We're watching the fucking show right now. Because we watched Game of Thrones first. We know. We get it. Chill. Song of Ice and Fire, Song of Chill and Fire. Shut up. I hate it here. I hate it here. Ugh. It's so fucking... Man. It feels so forced.
I couldn't agree more. It just results with, we know. It doesn't really matter that you show us now.
I don't like that Daemon is on this whole, like, I've been taking my ayahuasca spirit journey for 4 episodes and I saw into the future and, like, we have to...
And now I serve the queen. I finally got over myself. Oh my god.
My queen.
The fact that it took him to experience ego death with Alice Rivers fucking midsummer fucking period juice. Dude, what the fuck happened? Oh my god. Even just saying that made me just like have an aneurysm.
Like,
what the fuck happened?
You're like, I can't believe these words are coming out of my mouth. And the fucking fact that he says no to the peas and then he drinks the fucking, like, I made this crazy juice that's going to really fuck you up hard. Like, he's just like, alright. Chug.
Yeah, okay.
Jesus, dude.
By the way, I serve the queen now. I'm not in it for me.
McQueen. Yeah, man.
There's a lot of McQueen that episode too. There is a lot of McQueen.
Bro,
We're reverting back, dude. We had one good season and a couple of crumbs of good scenes, and we're going backwards.
Damn, this really does feel like hustling in reverse now that you mention it. Like, because like it's so. Listen, you remember? Did you ever watch that video I made a long time ago about how House of the Dragon season 2 could sink the franchise? It's not looking good, boys.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't want to say I called it, but it's not looking fucking good.
It's Jover. It might be Jover.
Cause like, okay, back to the whole like what makes Game of Thrones good. It's the characters with some other stuff, but it's really like the characters and like the very realistic feeling, at least, scenarios that they're in. Like, not to say that the scenario itself is realistic, because like dragons and shit, but their reactions to things in said universe feel like how you or I would react given that. And given their characters, right? And with Daemon,
yeah,
the main issue with the Long Night plotline is that Daemon is now essentially in this very cartoony, like, oh, I have to do it because it's the right thing to do and it's good. And we need it for the fate of the Avengers. The Targaryen Avengers must assemble to be a battle the Long Night. Yeah, and it's like, no.
Oh, you're so right.
All like the whole point of Game of Thrones is that people are realistic, they're selfish, they're petty. They have other good virtues too. You can have good virtues, but it's like it's such a cartoony twist on what is supposed to be a franchise that totes the fact that it's edgier, more realistic, more gray, more. Thank you, Carter. Fucking thank you. That's like it's supposed to be morally gray in a fantasy setting, right? Where it's not Lord of the Rings, right? This is a fantasy setting where we have some actual moral complexity going on, where you can see why a character might do something, but you might not agree with it or even do it yourself, but you're like, okay, that makes sense, right? Especially with the fact that they're not trying to paint, the Greens, or excuse me, the Greens as like absolute caricature villains. It just really, really feels like it takes the bite out of Daemon's character. Because it's like, yeah, he goes and he fucks Nettles, and then when Rhaenyra wants to kill Nettles, like...
Also, hashtag no plump Rhaenyra.
Oh God, man! People. I called Rhaenyra. I posted that video about how Rhaenyra gets a little rotund, and everyone said it's fat phobic. Meanwhile, the fucking picture I used of her is
nah, dude. It's like, to me, it's Sopranos. Like, dude, to me, she's beautiful.
The picture
she's
I
Rubenesque.
used, she's fucking gorgeous. She's like a model.
Fucking wood.
Oh, yeah,
wood.
Dude. It's like, and everyone's all like, this is really fat phobic, and I'm like, bro, fucking look at her. I even put hashtag thick, like, dog. Like, it's 2024. Get with the times. Like, thick is in.
Yeah. Talking Dragons is a hashtag AFAB, by the way.
Yeah, dude, we're even though we were just talking about like Lothor trans earlier, to all my trans brothers and sisters,
Lothor trans would
listen to all the trans brothers and sisters out there. Love you to death, but what the fuck, bro? Come on, that shit was weird.
Yes. Would yeah.
Hell yes. Man. Damn, bro, that Lothor top must go fucking crazy.
You're not coming away from that
tugging
unscathed.
on those dreadlocks, bro, like you're holding on to fucking the ropes of what's Corliss's ship? the queen who was. Holding on to the ropes of the queen who never was. Oh man.
Real quick. I gotta ask, Team Black or Team Green? After watching just purely from the show alone.
Just show?
Which one? Just the show alone.
You know, you ask me episode 1, Team Black Man. You ask me now. I kind of want to say green, bro.
That's what I'm fucking saying, dude. Let's fucking go.
Honestly, at this point, I'm Team Aegon, bro. Let's go Aegon.
That's sad Aegon arc. Let's see it.
I'm Team Aegon. I want Aegon to come back and say, fuck every one of you. Like, I hate all of you. Also, hold on, real quick. Another change. So,
Sunfire? Yeah, you gonna talk about Sunfire?
I forgot. Carter. What would I do without you? Let's
lovingly caresses your neck.
let's
like Rosilio Rota.
Yeah, bro, let me look fucking my white dreadlocks rubbing his ear. We'll put a pin in Sunfire because I want to cover this real quick, but we'll fucking come back to Sunfire. Okay. All right. So Helena loses her mind after Maelor dies in the books, and she seems like she's still pretty fucking well put together now, and that's just kind of upsetting.
She just seems autistic coded.
I mean, she's been autistic coded. She's like fucking weird bug girl. Like, with the way the show's going, could I see them saying Sunfire's not dead? Yeah, I could. Is that fucking stupid?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Because how the fuck do you miss the dragon just getting up and leaving? Again, no one notices that? So, there's two possibilities. Either Sunfire died and just is dead.
He's Eepin.
The big Eepy.
He's Eepin, bro.
Or he got up and left and no one noticed, and no one deigned to deem it necessary to tell Aegon about it. Which are both really... The second one is just kind of dumb, but Sunfire being dead also has some really serious implications as to what happens later on.
Could you also go into what happens in the book?
I'm trying to dodge spoilers.
Or do you think that's spoiler?
Okay, I'll give my best non-spoiler interpretation. So, in the book, Sunfire lives, but is obviously, like, gravely wounded. But what happens is Sunfire essentially goes and lives in the wild for a while, and Aegon sends people to try and, like, corral her to little effect. But eventually, Aegon and Sunfire reunite, and I won't get into, like, what happens, but they go in and they can, like, fight again, and, you know, they're teamed up. And oh my god. Okay, no spoilers. Also, the ending. What's gonna happen without Sunfire if Sunfire's dead? There's such a big thing. Yeah. There's several very big things that happen in the book involving Sunfire. And if Sunfire's dead, I just don't see how they're going to execute. I mean, I guess they could do some of that stuff with other things, but it's just weird, you know? Like, I'd really like to be in the writer's room. The proverbial fly on the wall when they're having these conversations. Man, that writer's strike is really, really setting in hard, bro.
Yeah. Oh no, dude. Yeah, hopefully it picks up in that third season.
I hope so.
I think honestly what happened to Sunfire is they're just like, well, Sunfire's probably dead, let's all leave. And then once they all left, Sunfire's like, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here.
They took Meleese's body.
Yeah, that's fine.
Why wouldn't they take Sunfire's? You wouldn't take it for continuity? You don't want the skull?
No.
They have Balerian's skull. I just don't see why they wouldn't. And all the writers be
Do you
like,
think an average...
So?
Yeah, I'm putting you in the writers' room right now.
So you take that back.
The guy with the fucking, like, who has his arms crossed behind his head, leaning back in the chair, twirling the fucking expo marker. And?
God.
So?
Fucking asshole. I kind of fuck with the fact that they were just like, Aegon went unprompted, especially with the way his characters portrayed in the show. I think that is a really cool thing, because I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. He barely knows how to fly Sunfire. Like, yeah, checks out. But yeah, man, just the rest of it. It's like, I legitimately don't know. And I suppose I can't say whether it's a good or a bad change until I see where they go with it. But that's kind of really what's being called into question now, especially because there wasn't this big cool thing that happened to cap the season off. I think all us as viewers are left with to do is speculate on the really weird decisions they've been making as far as the plot is concerned. And I don't think that's necessarily where you want to be as a content producer.
Yeah.
I think what your job as a, I guess, content creator on that sense is to, with the season finale especially, you want to answer some questions, give them some really cool shit, pose some questions, and then also use all of that to really make them want to come back for the next season.
Yep.
That's what a good season finale is. We look at the Sopranos season finale with Tony running in the snow. Masterfully done. Yo, anyone who watching House of the Dragon and hasn't seen Sopranos, do yourself a favor. Watch you some Sopranos.
Watch that shit.
It's such a good show.
Just wait till Lord Monkey comes out with the Sopranos cast where we talk about it.
Bro, I honestly would like to get and dabble into other lore. I mean, I've made videos that are like crossover with Warhammer stuff. Yo, if you would watch some fucking Sopranos lore. I think Sopranos lore is a little far off base. But like, let me know if I make like Warhammer or like other like fantasy genre lore videos. Let me know if you'd watch that shit, okay? But let's go drop some. Let me know in the comments section, guys. Yo, did you know if you say like in a YouTube video, the like thing, the like button like has a nice little like rainbow glow around it?
I did not know
There's like
that.
a little visual effect. Also, if you say subscribe, like, comment, subscribe, and your UI just had a stroke for anybody watching this. Fucking drop Sunfire's corpse on the notification bell.
And Ryan Malis' head, decapitated head to that like button, and pop that subscribe button like Aegons.
Hell yes. Shout out to Otto being revoked his hand again. Has there been anyone who's been and not been hand more times than Otto Hightower? I don't think there's one man in Westeros. It's like 3 or 4 at this point.
Dude, it's rough. It's rough out here for my boy Otto.
I will say, season 2, I really came around to liking Otto more, though.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of a crime that he got like thrown in the dungeons and like revoked his hand again, as I really started to enjoy him. Like, that was a character in season 1 I was like, this guy is such a chud. But like now, especially with him just like being really upset with Aegon, the fact that we can really finally just see Otto be like, Jesus Christ, like he does so well in that role, and I fucking love it, dude.
Yeah, like the scene where they're doing like the hearings with the common folk, and the guy asks for more sheep, and he's like, yeah, we'll do that, and Otto's like, listen here, you little shit. No, we can't. We're at war. Yeah,
that was pretty good. I really think the icing on the cake for me though was when Aegon makes Kristen hand. Like that, something about that, like just Otto being so done. Just this sense of like, we worked so hard to get you here. Like, we did terrible, awful things to get you here, and this is how you're doing. This is what you're doing now. Oh, it's so good.
What did you think of Hard Hugh Hammer? Basically, in my interpretation, kind of revealing that his mom was that one.
Yeah, Saria.
Jaehaerys. Yeah, Saria.
That was cool.
Thank you.
That was really cool.
Yeah, I was like, yo!
I big W for book readers. Little tidbit of lore. I'm actually thinking about making a video on this. So for those of you that don't know, the king before Viserys, Jaehaerys.
Base Jaehaerys. Best king.
If you don't know Jaehaerys, man, listen to my goddamn reading of Fire and Blood. But book is so good. And I've already recorded it for you, so you don't even have to read it. But based Jaehaerys had like 1 million kids, whom he like outlived most of them. But one of them got in this scandal where basically she was doing some ratchet shit. And she was really fed up with the way she was not allowed to just be a hoe. So she flew to Essos. I guess she didn't fly. I don't think she had a dragon. But she went to Essos, opened up a brothel, and basically like became like a merchant queen of pussy in Essos. So the whole Hugh Hammer talking about how his mother was a ran a brothel in Essos, that's basically confirming because he was a dragon seed that was Saria. So that was a really cool lore tidbit. It's just it's the little stuff like that,
Yeah.
Just
it's a payoff.
It's a payoff.
Investing your time.
That's how you make a good crossover. You're all like, oh, you read the book? Here's a nice tasty little treat for you. That I love. I tell you, man, though, I don't know what is gonna happen down the road with Hugh and Ulf. I do know what's gonna happen, but man.
Yeah, we know what's gonna happen, but like Ulf I can see more so just based on his character in the show rather than Hugh. But we'll see without spoiling it.
But the thing is, it's like we didn't even know if Darren was going to be in the show until like episode 3 of this season where they name dropped him. And I mean, at the rate they're changing stuff, man, I don't even know if it's going to be the same. I almost wonder, like, to a certain degree down the road, talking about book stuff, like, is it even going to be spoilers at this point? Because they've shown that with the way that they're taking it, they're not afraid to change some pretty big stuff. Because season 1 was pretty on the level with the changes. And now it's, they're really not afraid to mix things up. So, it's kind of hard to say where it's going to go.
I think anything beyond the book and the season now, probably avoid. But I personally, I think previous stuff we could probably cover, like Jaehaerys and stuff like that.
Bro, could you fucking imagine if White Walkers show up at any point?
I think it's time to start a shock at
that
that point and just drop Game of Thrones.
I'm gonna fucking jump off the wall if that happens.
I came up with a good one at work today.
Yeah, what was that?
I was like, oh. Have you maybe thought about blindfolding yourself and just walking off the Grand Canyon?
That's a good one. Walking into the Grand Canyon is funny, yeah. It's really mixed emotion season, I gotta say.
Cool tidbits, but overall, the sticky parts just kind of take it over in that aspect, which is unfortunate.
I mean, episode 1 and 2, good.
Really good. Really good sister episodes.
4, really good.
Yep.
And then, yeah, unfortunately, like... Which episode had Eric and Eric? Was that 2?
I think that was... No. Wait. Yeah, I think it was 2.
That one was good.
Yeah, they started that off pretty early.
Yeah.
I figured that would have been like an episode 3 or 4 plotline.
It's just weird why they dragged out Harenhall for so long. Because they were really hitting their stride, right? They had Blood and Cheese. Great start.
Yep.
Eric v. Eric. Great. Little interlude for episode 3 made sense. Give a quick break.
Yeah.
Establish Stamen at Harenhall. That's fine. Rook's Rest. Right back to it. You got that little break. We're getting right back into the sauce. And then after that, I mean, we got Rhaenyra being a lesbian.
Sea Smoke being racist.
Yeah, Sea Smoke being fucking racist, brother. we got lesbian Rhaenyra and racist Sea Smoke. Yo, R.I.P. your boy. Was it Stefan Darklin?
Stefan Darklin, man. Bro. R.I.P. my boy.
Stefan. He
was innocent. Those fucking pudgy cheeks, dude, that you could pinch.
He gave it his best. He tried his all.
Yeah. I think he kind of fucked it up. He's kind of like, you can kind of see in his face is like, I got it. And then he became a little overconfident. Sea Smoke's like, oh no, you ain't him, bro. You ain't him.
But then he saw hard Hugh, who was just like, you know what, suck my dick. And Vermithor was like, okay.
Man, that Red Sewing.
Oh yeah, Red Sewing was good.
Hoo-ah! That was brutal.
Just seeing all the dragon seeds get blasted.
Jeez. From the book, I remember it being like, because I also listened to it while I was working at the same time, so maybe I just missed a couple of details. I didn't know it was all at once. I thought it was kind of like one at a time.
I don't think they mention it in the book.
I didn't really imagine Dragonstone looking that way in my head. To be honest, I thought they had like an arena on Dragonstone where it's like, all right, bring out Vermithor. And then it's like, all right, I'll try and tame him, and then dead. All right, bring out the next one. Dead. All right, bring out the next
that's kind of what I imagine. Honestly, I think they were just changing it to like do it concisely and, have it be a cool like visual spectacle like Vermithor. Let me tell you what though, great job with Vermithor and Silverwing's visual design, I have to say.
Oh yeah. Dude, fucking Silverwing, dude. Fuck yeah.
Silverwing's cool ass horns and just Vermithor being God, like
gigantic.
Yeah, just
he's so big.
bargain bin Balerion. Like, and so the crazy thing is he looks bigger than Vhagar. I know he's not.
He really does. Yeah, they're about the same size.
No, but Vhagar's a little bigger, I think. Vhagar's supposed to have actually... Because Vhagar's touted as the biggest living dragon during the dance.
Oh, I see.
I don't know. I've heard some people complain about, like, the size consistency from the dragons, because it really does vary a lot. I mean, minor gripe, but... Man, I mean, maybe it's because they were trying to give you that, like, a lot of those shots that were, like, kind of almost POV of, like, under Vermithor, those are really cool. Or you can't even, like, see all of him. It's just, like, his head, and you're just like, whoa.
Yeah, shit's dope. Man, the fact that Ulf fucking... I know he gets it in the book, but Ulf getting Silverwing is just like, damn. Yeah. I think Silverwing deserves better. Jaehaerys' dragon, man.
Kind of. No, Vermithor was Jaehaerys'. That's Alisane's.
Oh, fuck.
But, like, even so, the good Queen Alisane's dragon.
Fake fan.
Truly. Why would you stoop so low? It's like when, you know, you're grenade hopping. you're
yeah.
You're getting BBW right.
That's truly what all fans want.
Wolf just like stumbling in and like Silverman being like, yeah, you seem cool.
Get the fuck out of my room. I'm playing fucking Game of Thrones crap.
Silverman's just gaming. That's like a Smiling Friends bit. Silverman's just playing Minecraft.
It really is.
Do you want to like I'm building like
sorry.
This cool like castle in like the desert biome, and it's like I need somebody to help me like mine sandstone. Which overall, I'm glad I watched it. I mean, even if I didn't have a YouTube channel that was based around it, like I'd still say like worth the watch. But definitely some interesting decisions. I kind of I kind of see what they're doing with the whole Mysaria plotline, but yeah, the whole like lesbian thing really caught me out of left field, man. That was just a weird one. I mean, I'm not like complaining, but like
well-known plump Rhaenyra enjoyer. Before we end,
are we ending?
Alicent or Rhaenyra? I don't know. Are we?
What about Alicent or Rhaenyra?
Which one, dude?
Oh, Alicent, dog. Have you ever seen her like not in her like Game of Thrones? Especially if we're talking not in like Game of Thrones get up, because Rhaenyra's actress, I think Emma Darcy, she goes crazy with it. She goes sicko mode with the style. The true loss here was the Lego set. Bro, honestly though, the meme game from this season has gone so hard.
It's really good.
They're really funny. Like, people online have been fucking firing all cylinders on the meme production. Did you see the one I posted? That it was like if Tywin was if Tywin was on Team Green, and it was just like, Cersei, you will marry Vhagar. Yeah, what's your overall rating on the season then?
Ooh, that's a hard one.
Hard Hugh's rating.
Put me in the hot seat. The hard Hugh hot seat.
All right, let's go scale of like five-star rating. 1 to 5.
Well, I think as the great Dan Carlin says, it's all graded on a bell curve anyways. So truly. I'll give you this. Best episodes, so on the bell curve, on the right, episodes 1, 2, whatever episode has Eric v. Eric. I think the Red Sewing was good. I like the Common Folk episode.
That was good. Yeah, winning the hearts and minds.
Everything Harenhall immediately goes to the bad end.
Yeah, dumpster.
And everything else is kind of in the middle. Graded on a bell curve. There you go. Calvin, you can make that infographic with what I just said, I guess.
Throw together the fucking visual aid. The interactive podcast experience. It's weird because like some of the best scenes from the whole series so far were in this season, but also some of the most caca-doo-doo-doo anus was in this season too. So it's
real quick, it's on S+ tier of all scenes.
What's that?
It's hard Hugh Hammer being like, give me them carrots. I'm not joking. Punches that guy in the face.
And just fucking that guy up for like 2 cabbages and like a bundle of carrots. So awesome. That's so
Give me
cool.
them carrots. I'm not joking.
Hiya! Like, fucking karate chop that guy.
On the bell curve, that's above the bell.
That's above the Rhaenyra fucking makeout scene, dude. That episode was funny. Like,
Common Folk was good. That's a good episode.
I was really hoping we would start to get some shepherd action going on, like the way the way that they were setting up the whole disgruntled common folk thing. I was like, oh, they're gonna do it, and it's like obviously they're saving him for later. If we don't get shepherd, I'm gonna shit my goddamn pants, because it's like, what are you even doing? Like, then you don't get the dragon pit fiasco, you don't get anything, and it's just like
You don't get the Oblivion fucking ending.
you get no Oblivion ending. Goddamn, the giant ethereal warrior knight. How sick would that be, bro? Could you imagine?
All because like
if they went full
the common
sicko
folk
mode?
start a wog.
They literally do. Like, that's so
They
true.
start a wog, and it happens.
They fucking summon Gork. To fucking...
They dude, it's crazy.
Damn. Is that what the government calls mass hysteria? Is that what that is? Is that
I think that's why they're afraid of us, dude.
That's just the term they use to make sure we don't know that we have the ability to start a WA. I thought that was kind of a cool thing that they did with like Rhaenyra sending food into the city. But
the surplus boats. That was one of the best memes I saw.
what's the surplus boats?
Oh, it was the guy that like is looking at the harbor, like, or not the harbor, the fucking ocean, and the boats start coming in. And it's just a shocked face. And the caption is when they start sending in the stimulus boats.
Yeah, it is like the number rating is hard though. Hard, Hugh, because again,
yeah, that's Hard Hugh's rating.
It really is okay on the objective.
Hard Hugh's bell
rating.
curve.
Hard Hugh's bell curve. Yeah, I'm gonna make like an infographic of like Hard Hugh with like his little like he's like arms crossed, like looking at the camera, and it's gonna be like, "Welcome to Hard Hugh's ratings." This episode on Hard Hugh's ratings. Like Vermithor is like freaking out in the background.
Alright, plugging that into Hard Hugh's ratings.
It really goes to show, for me, I just think that, like, there were not enough dragons. It really goes to show how important having, like, a good finale is. You need a good hook, and they got that. Episode 1 and episode 2, great. Episode 4, great. Red Sewing was pretty good, but I just don't think... Here's the problem, is the Red Sewing was good, but I don't think it was good enough compared to like what it was surrounded by and how kind of lackluster a lot of that was to
that's fair.
pull the second half of the season to where it needed to be. Oh, bro, real quick, Jacaerys being all like, I know it's not my real dad. That's an interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think we ever really talked about how they like they took out the ambiguity of Rhaenyra's children in the show. I've seen a lot of people complain online that the fact that it's pretty cut and dry that they're illegitimate kind of takes away from a lot of the nuance.
Are they silver-haired in the book?
No, there's a lot more ambiguity to the fact that they are. It was a very kind of hush-hush thing, and I mean, to a degree, it was also hush-hush in the show, but like they make it such a focal point, and then I mean, even Jacaerys himself is being all like, well, yeah, I'm not stupid. Like, I know Harwin's my dad. Like, it just really kind of like takes away all of that question behind it. I don't know. It's good but bad season. I don't know.
Just put your bell curve up there, dude.
I do think a lot of how I look at the season, by the nature of it, is going to have to be in relation to the other seasons. And I don't think that that's a good thing. I think that when you get done with the season, you should be all like, yeah, nice. I don't think you should have to be all like, well, let's see what's happening next to see if I like this or not.
Yeah.
Like, that's something that you can do mid-season. You can have episodes where you're all like, I don't know about this. And then, like, you know, the next episode, you're like, oh, yeah, okay, that makes sense. But, like, you don't want to leave off your season like that, dog.
It's really up in the air on if season 3 will be good now, I think.
I just don't want there to be, like, a perpetual, like, dip in quality. Like, I could see there being cool scenes, but I just hope they don't get too far. I don't know. They've already they've laid some seeds that I just can't see growing into anything good. You know?
Yeah.
I'm just mad. What am I saying? I'm just bitter that Nettles isn't in the show. That we don't get Rosilio and we don't get Nettles.
Nettles and Mushroom are really just like two big misses, like in this show,
Bro, they
because
don't
they're not
even
there.
mention Mushroom. They can't even give you a scene. Like, come on. I get it, but like, throw the dog a bone, brother.
It's because Peter Dinklage bitched about little people in movies.
Oh yes, I have to be a midget with class. I can't. It doesn't matter if it's a realistic portrayal of how a little person would be treated in medieval settings. I don't know. Like Mushroom has like he's such a shit. Like it's so good. Like
he would add so much comic relief to the show. I think at that point it'd be like Sopranos dark comedy. Like spoilers for Sopranos, but also spoilers for a 25-year-old show. When Aid is in the FBI like interrogation and she just pukes everywhere because she's so nervous. That kind of dark humor. I think Mushroom could add so much to the show if he was in.
I certainly think that he would be a wonderful outlet for such a thing. That would be easy to overdo if they included him. I mean, the whole Lothar thing was like an attempt at comic relief that really fell flat.
Yeah.
And I think having Mushroom talking about his dick more would probably be funnier.
Like, could you imagine like Bela and Jace like having a nice moment and Mushroom walks by being like, "Oh, what's up, you two?"
So when are you going to be sucking each other off?
Yeah, just really salacious.
This is really super the most heinous thing that you could say. Mushroom really was like the shock jock of his time.
Oh yeah. Yo, who would win in a fight, Patches or Mushroom?
Isn't Patches like fucking disabled? And like Patches barely walk.
All right, we'll kneecap Mushroom, so it's an even fight if that's true.
According to Mushroom, he not only has the biggest dick in the Seven Kingdoms, he would also be the greatest warrior and most intellectual man. If Mushroom is to be believed.
Headcanon, Mushroom is just Sicilian.
Okay. House of Dragon, 1 star out of 10. Delete.
I think we should just delete this hour and 17 minutes of audio and restart from the beginning.
Bro, this pod has been good. I think this one's a pretty good pod.
1 to 10, 4 and a third.
Out of 10?
Yeah, Harenhall just really drags it down for me, honestly.
I agree, but I think the highs are so high. Ow. Fuck. Sorry, guys.
We'll come back.
With my bodily. Ow. Fuck off. All right. It's a 6. Okay, I have to stop. I've been fucking.
All right, we got we'll see you in 3 years.
All right. Yeah. So, see you when Ulf gets nasty. Fuck. All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye. All right. That's what
House of the house.